Yo, why do kids put that shit on social media?
For clout.
It's stupid.
Yeah, but they don't realize that. They feel like, oh, let me do this, and I'm doing it for the likes. That's what it is.
For attention.
Yes, it's for the likes.
Like, my life is better than you think it is.
Right.
Let me show you.
Let me
It's
show
not
you what
just
I
kids,
did.
though.
Let me
Adults
show you
do
what I
that,
did
too.
before I go to
Adults
jail.
do it, too.
You are absolutely right. And
I be catching them.
the attention seekers. That's
You
what I
poor
call
bitch.
them.
Call me old man Wade.
Damn you, old man!
Wait.
Old ass man.
Shut up, old man. You smell like fart.
No!
Old man.
He's so old, he got a podcast on cassette.
Fuck, you're old.
Damn it, Wade.
I like your couch. I don't know why. You know what? You guys are really, really awesome. And I say that because I walked in here with good energy. I am a big person on energy. I don't know if you've ever experienced, but I am the person that will be standing in the corner if the energy is not good for me. And I will turn around and leave.
That was
Like,
me at the funeral.
I will tell you, like, all right, guys,
My
I'll
cousin
see you
was
later,
like-
but I'm here, my shoes are off, I'm Indian style on your couch. I gave your husband my debit card and walked
Walked
away.
away.
It was nothing.
The energy in here.
So I
is
wasn't supposed
super
to take a
dope.
picture of it and use it later?
You know what?
Hey, welcome to the Old Man Wade Show. I am your host, the God of Struggle, the Lord of Laughter, Old Man Wade. I'm sitting here with my lovely life, my lovely life, Mrs. Old Man Wade,
Hey.
with the normal energy she always has. To my far right, reoccurring guest on the show, the CEO of Pandacare, Amanda.
Hey.
And to my direct right, apparently someone that I met a week ago and didn't know she was coming. Sitting Indian style because apparently she that comfortable. Nedra was really good, y'all.
What's going on?
So it's funny. We've been sitting here chatting for about like 30 minutes, and I just realized that someone's got to bounce at like 1:30. We're like, oh shit.
Reschedule it. Call or send it. Make another
I
appointment.
will.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Word.
Good shit.
Alright, cool.
I was joking, but okay.
No.
I'm gonna be selfish here and be like, cool. You know what I mean? I can get content out of this shit. So how's everyone doing today?
Good.
Good.
Great.
Work party I don't want to go to today. I'm trying to talk to my wife and then I'm not going to.
Listen, every year he does this. Every single year. Yes, we're going to go to the party. Every fucking year. Then all the weeks up to, I'm going to go. I don't want to go. I'm going to go. I don't want to go. I'm going to go. Dinner, all the drinks on the house. I'm going. We're drinking their money
free
in
liquor?
my bar rate.
Do you
like,
need
I'm drinking the whole bar. He doesn't understand. So, week before, are we still going, Mark? Yes, we're going. Next day, I don't want to go. Mark, you should go. They already bought the ticket. It's on one of those harbor dinner cruises or whatever.
Go.
And apparently I found that yesterday we got like the platinum pass, so like everything's
High end
like,
bar.
Go.
hate
You-
them. Hate them
We don't
guys.
need to talk
Yes,
to them.
you don't need to-
We
right.
can drink in
You're
the
there with
corner
your
and talk
wife.
shit about them. We
People
do it every
watching in
year.
the corner with your wife is
You know what's
dope.
funny?
But we do
Because
it
like-
every year, and then he loves it afterwards. He'd be like, all right, I had a really good time.
No, I have a really good time with my wife. I can do that
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, that's
I can
all
do
you
that shit
do.
Yeah, but we're
anywhere.
doing it for
So
free.
do it for
Yeah.
free on the harbor cruise.
Right?
I understand
Or
that.
drinking
Like,
platinum freaking whiskey off the top shelf.
But you were just talking about energy, like the energy they give. It just makes me want
But
to
you're
like.
gonna be with your wife.
So we're gonna have
So
good
hold
energy
a
and good
corner.
drinks in between.
Yeah.
eat the free food,
And drink the free spirits.
drink the free spirits, hold a corner with your wife, and block the energy.
Yeah.
So we do that every
if you
year.
ever feel like the energy's suffocating you,
Move.
go to the deck of the boat real quick
And get
jump
some
off.
air.
some fresh air.
Jump
No.
and come back
No.
in.
I'm
No
gonna jump up like
rose.
Jason Momoa, save me.
No rose.
Seriously, you wish you would jump it into his arms.
Jason Momoa's a pretty man.
Yeah,
I can
no,
admit-
he is
I
a
can admit he's
beautiful man.
I'm sorry. I'm
Is
not
that
attracted to
Aquaman?
him.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not
He's
attracted
not
to
my
him.
type at all.
Me neither.
However, he
However.
is gorgeous.
He looks angry as shit. I love
I
it.
feel, I don't know, I'm not attracted to a man who I feel like is going to take longer than me to get dressed. And that's what he looks like.
Nah,
I don't think he looks
nah.
like that.
He looks too pretty.
I just like his
no.
mysterious eyes.
I just
love
like when he does the
mystery.
haka.
You know who his
That's
wife.
it.
You know who his wife
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
Lisa
chill laid back.
Bonet.
They like essentially.
I'm more
live in the
attracted to
woods.
Lisa Bonet than her. Than him, I mean.
Yo, Lisa Bonet could get
She is beautiful.
But like they're pretty easy people. Like they're laid back, chill. Like
Yeah.
they're like they believe in like nature and the earth. I was reading an article on them and the way that they raise their children. Like
It's
it's
amazing.
insane. Like yeah.
I love it.
That's
So,
sexy
like,
to me.
When I
Their
read about
relationship
them,
is sexy.
right?
It's
That's what I like
beautiful.
about him. I love the way he loves his family. If that makes sense. So that part of him, I'm attracted to. But as far as his looks, it does nothing for me.
I just like his
He looks all
mysterious
angry.
I like that part.
eyes. I like the
He looks
mystery.
bad as
Like,
fuck.
are you
I don't-
mad?
I'm mad because,
maybe
like-
you're not mad. What are you thinking about? Maybe you're not thinking.
I don't know. And people look at me like, you're not attracted to him. No. We all like different things. I'm just not into
He's
that.
Very true.
Not my
He
type
might
at
want to
all.
have
The
my
long
my
hair, I
ponytail
don't got
holder.
it.
No.
Exactly.
I'm
I
all
can't
set.
do
He
the
might
long
wanna
hair.
Yo, we be fighting
You
over
mad because he
boogies.
has a man bun and he might hear
I hate
steal
man
your hair
buns.
products?
I hate man buns.
I don't.
Yeah, he might be using my oils. And he might want to use my silk bonnet at night. Like, no, bruh. Get your own. We're going to have to be fighting over
Let me ask
colors
you
in
a
a
question.
hair
Let me ask you a
store.
question. But what if you want to use his? Is that okay?
No, I don't like no one touching my hair or anything.
No, what
Last
if
night, this guy walked up to me to
what if
touch
it
my
was
hair.
his? What if it was his?
No,
You're not
that's yours. I don't want it on my head.
What happened to Sharon Cheryl Light?
No, not for my hair.
Why not?
Do you see this gorgeous?
I don't like it.
See, I'm with it. Like, I mean, I can use all Mark's stuff. He can't use mine. I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
I'm with you. I legit had on Dave's shirt last night.
See, clothes is different.
I be taking his stuff all the time.
He wasn't there for me to ask.
Yo,
I needed a shirt to put on because I only had on.
You
a
do it to
tank
me
top.
though too. You
Like,
can't say that you don't.
I don't have a button-up jean shirt.
My
so-
sweatshirts, my hoodies, because you don't have your own hoodies, because I stole them from other people years ago.
Which hoodies?
Like this one's like I don't
That's
even know
mine.
how old it is.
That's
Oh,
mine.
this one is yours. You got it as a Christmas present, and I kept it. Never mind mine. I know where I got this one. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So anyway, so
off topic.
speaking of Jason Momoa, his I guess would be his daughter-in-law, right? Stepdaughter.
His bonus daughter.
His bonus daughter.
Yeah, I
Wait,
don't
what's
like.
a bonus?
I kind of like that.
I don't
kinda
like when people say step. I
It
like
kind of seems
bonus.
insulting almost.
Isn't that what Jada Pinkett says?
Mm-hmm.
Bonuses. That does sound nice, sir.
Jada Pinkett uses it, and the Wade. What's
Dwayne Wade, Gabriel Union.
Gabrielle Union. She
Bonus.
calls his kids her bonus kids.
I like that.
I like that. Is nice.
So
I don't like hearing step because I've never liked the word step this, step that.
Where did that come from? Step.
colonizers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why people?
So she was talking about like the fact she's in a mixed family. Like she has her dad's Jewish, I believe. Lenny Kravitz, and her mom's I think mixed, right? Lisa Bonet.
Lenny Kravitz is Jewish.
Yeah, his mom's Jewish.
Yeah,
his
I did
his
read
dad's-
that. I
his
did read
dad's
that.
Jewish.
He's
Sorry, his dad's
mixed.
Jewish,
His
yeah.
dad's Jewish.
So she went on to say, I'm definitely mixed. Both my parents are mixed. I have white on both sides of my family. The older I get, the more I experience life. I'm identifying more with being black and what that means. Being more and more proud of that and the feeling connecting my roots and my history, she says. I don't know if she was getting slack for this, but I know she was saying how like she doesn't really identify. Oh, here we go. Blah 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 blah. She refuses. Okay, like her father, Miss Kravitz has been labeled as black without recognition of her mixed family race. She previously revealed in the Lord that she's been turned down from many roles of her because of her race, but she refused to let her get her down. I don't feel bad about it, she said. It makes me angry and it makes me work harder. It just doesn't. It doesn't make me not want to be the color I am. But when people think, okay, you should play this because of your color of your skin, it's crazy.
Okay, so I get that to an extent, but like obviously you can't have like I don't know how to explain it without sounding, because I'm mixed,
Right.
so I get it. Like I get what she's trying to say or portray, and depending on how you look when you're mixed too determines whether or not people feel like you are more like black or you're more white or the way you portray yourself. But there are certain roles and stuff that have to be they have to be like based off of race.
Yeah.
Because like you couldn't have Black Panther be like some high yellow dude from like Jason Momoa can't be Black Panther. Like
You
Yeah.
sure he can? Is that why he's Aqua Man?
I actually kind of like the fact that they picked a Samoan dude to play that. Like
I didn't even know he was Simone.
So yeah, you were saying I didn't want to cut you off.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I get what she's saying to an extent, but for some of it, it doesn't make sense to me.
I don't get why people really care what she wants to identify as. I don't know why they're giving her such a hard time about that.
Because people feel the need to make an issue out of everything.
Right.
You got to make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah, but
I will say this though. I do think race is a very important thing in terms of like knowing what you are, being proud of your culture.
yeah, but okay, from my standpoint again, like I have two different cultural backgrounds. I embrace both sides of my culture. I don't identify as just being white or just being Cape Verdean. I always tell people I'm mixed. Like I've never walked in and been like, yeah, I'm white.
What box do you check?
I put other, 2 or more races. That's an option now.
It
So when I
is.
was a kid, I used to have this argument with my teachers all the time because you only had Latino or Spanish, whatever,
Yeah.
and then you had Black, African American, and you had white. Like those were your options. And they'd be like, well, just check Black, African American, and white. I'm like, but I'm not. Like I'm Cape Verdean, and my mother's white. They'd be like, oh, just check white then. I'm like, but I'm not. I'm not doing this. This is not how it works. So,
You are not listening.
but that's a newer thing though. The 2
Yeah.
or more race thing. Like I've noticed that in the last probably like 5 years that like that's one of the options.
Yeah,
now.
when they fill out applications and
Non-Hispanic,
stuff like that, they always make
2 or
sure.
more races.
Nedra, your thoughts?
I am a person that feels like way too many things. Race is being included into way too many things, and I'm not big on people's personal life. Like I don't understand why it's such a big deal. Like that's what she chooses to do. Like I feel the same way about it as people that choose Apple O's over Apple Jacks. Like there's no reason to crucify the people that would prefer to get the cheaper, larger amount of apple tasting cereal than the smaller box.
Sorry, we had to take a break. My wife caught that our food was here, so we had to pause it so we could get our shit together. I cut Nedra off. As you were about to say something else.
Right. So what I was saying is that I really don't care what people choose to identify themselves as or what they choose not to acknowledge. But in reference to her not getting casted for certain roles, I think it's unfair. But I don't think it's because she's biracial and I feel like it happens to everyone. And it's not fair.
What I'm thinking of though, like what roles is she talking about though? So see, I didn't read the article. I have no idea even what did she?
So
get
she
passed
mentioned
up
a
for?
small role in Batman. She was passed up on because they weren't going urban, was what was in quotation.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So stuff like that is like bullshit, but that's industry. That doesn't really have much to do with.
With her in general, it's everybody.
Right.
I wish I could remember. Do you guys know who Zazie Beetz is?
No.
She played Domino in Deadpool 2, or she's the
She's
girl
in
with
Atlanta.
Atlanta,
She's
really
dope.
really big
I love
hair.
her.
She's in my top 5 like most beautiful women in terms of like actors and actresses. Well, there was a role she was going for with this new like Joker movie, and it was weird that it was like attractive woman. No, I think it was like non-attractive woman or unconventional looking or something like that.
That is what they were looking for?
I'm trying to figure out exactly what they cast her. But I think she's supposed to be playing like a drug addict or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. This is Zazie Beetz.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure y'all seen it before.
She's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just these like little random things where like you can't play certain roles because they weren't going in an urban direction. Now, I don't see anything wrong with that specifically because if there's a role, if there's a message they're trying to portray or something they're trying to come across, and I can understand that you don't want to do that. It's like one of my favorite movies, Finding Forrester, for example. There's a teacher who was just an asshole. Like he was supposed to look like this older, privileged, semi-racist guy. You can't have Michael B. Jordan playing that role. You know what I mean?
Right. The
So-
industry, sorry not to cut you
No, no,
off.
no.
The industry, and I'm using air quotes, the industry is not an equal opportunity employer.
It absolutely is
not everyone can play everything. But so I brought that up because I don't want that, like situations like that, to be the reason why she chooses not to identify with her black side. I'm
Right.
using more air quotes.
Well, I do like the fact that she's like, I guess she said something in there. Maybe it was just the way she was raised. She didn't necessarily have to do that, but I like the fact that she said she's learning more about that, though. So I did like that she's taking a point to learn more about that as opposed to just saying, because like I was raised a certain way. Me and Maria both raised in like the hood. Maria's hood was probably more dangerous than mine. Like, you know what I mean?
No, yours is more dangerous than mine, but I was probably around more dangerous people.
Probably. So like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, it's what'd you say? Apple and apple Cheerios. They're really, you know what I mean? So if I was raised in her area, my life would have been gone completely different, and then vice versa. So it's equal, but not. If my point makes any sense just now.
I get it.
What I don't understand, what do they mean by urban? Because she has dreads? Because she's of color? Like, I guess
It could
I
be.
guess that's what my question would be.
Well, there's also
I don't look at you and go, "Oh, you're too urban," like Amanda, because you have dreads. Like,
But again, the
like
industry
that's like
is not
just
equal
your.
opportunity employer.
There's also this thing where there's a lot of like really snide comments with when you're doing certain things, like the Google podcast thing. There was a Google podcast thing they were looking to. What was it? They were doing some type of classes where you could you know, you put your podcast out there, but they were looking for quote unquote urban podcasts. You know what I mean? And I'm looking through it. I'm like, okay, like is my podcast urban enough? Do I like? Am I not using nigga enough? Is that what they're trying to say?
What are the qualifications?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I talk a lot of nerdy shit, but I also come on here and I talk about a lot of black issues, you know what I mean, on here. But I'm also not that guy, which I see a lot, where it's like, I will discuss issues involving women, but if I'm not going to have any woman in here, I will hit Amanda up. I'll hit some of my white friends up. I'll hit some of my other Spanish friends up. I'll hit my West Indian friends up, female friends up, so they can weigh in on this. Because I'm not going to be, me and Javi, just two black dudes talking about women's rights because we don't know shit about that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I wonder sometimes when people use the word urban, like, you know what I mean? Is that their way of getting out of saying, like, you're black or you're Spanish, so we can't use you?
That's how that
More
goes.
than likely.
Because we've seen it happen before, where it's just like it cracked me up one year. Who was it who got most attractive man of the year last year?
Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan got the most attractive man of the year, and it still falls under this. Only to remember, there was this woman who posted a picture of Jason Momoa in Justice League, and he goes, "No way, people who voted on Sexiest Man of the Year saw Jason Momoa out the water from his waist up and said Luke Bryan." And it was funny as shit. And then coincidentally, after all the slack they got for getting that wrong last year, Jason Momoa got Sexiest Man of the Year this year.
I didn't even know he was in that movie.
Oh, was it? No, I think it might have been Idris Elba.
Oh yeah.
Idris Elba was this year.
Was he this year?
Yeah.
I think Idris Elba was this year. So it was almost just like they were trying to like kind of work it out. It was like, okay, we got that wrong. Like Ben Affleck won one year, and I was like, I'm fucking sexy in Ben Affleck. I just ain't got the money. You know what I mean? But no, it's.
Ben.
Well, I mean, the
Affleck
question
Sexiest
is like
Man of the
sexy
Year?
to who?
It was
though?
like
That's
2000.
Right.
2002,
Who are they giving a
2003,
service to
something
is the
like that.
question.
I mean, what magazine are we talking about?
It was like People or some shit.
Like Entertainment Weekly or whatever.
Probably one of those.
And like, who are the people that are picking sexiest man?
Same people who do the Oscars.
Yeah, well,
These
yeah,
old,
yeah.
these old
Yeah.
motherfuckers who are so stuck in their ways that like every movie has to be like this artsy fartsy movie where something weird happens or you're talking to a tiger for 8 years on a boat. You know what I mean? A movie that like nobody saw. Like, you know
No,
what I mean?
or like Moonlight. Like, did anybody watch Moonlight?
No,
I did
never
not.
heard of it.
Moonlight
Alright,
was
so-
good, but
yeah.
it was overrated as
I thought it was okay.
Wait. Was
So,
that
like,
the movie
Moonlight-
about the kid that was gay?
Damn it, Wade.
Like, people, apparently, white people across America don't know what
all
a
right.
thug is.
Edit points, 18 minutes.
No, I'm just saying, like, they made this whole big thing and made it like it was like this big, artsy, phenomenal movie. We had people that we're friends with that are white that were like, what do you mean you didn't understand why it was so great and blah blah blah? I'm like, it's a gay black dude who grew up in the hood. Like,
This shit happens all the time.
this isn't, yeah, like,
This
I was
isn't
like,
something
and my exact words is, I understand that you don't see it, so this is new to you, and maybe that's why you think it's so great, but to me, this isn't some revelation. It's just like, it's just another movie about a thug that just happens to be gay. Like, I don't understand what the big,
And he chose the thug life to survive.
yeah, like, I don't understand the big deal. Like, I
didn't see it. I heard it was good though.
I watched
it's
about
good.
15
it was
to 20
alright.
minutes of it.
It wasn't that great.
It was
I
good,
that
but it
good.
wasn't like this like amazing,
groundbreaking,
groundbreaking
life
movie.
changing.
And it was like they gave the dude, I can never remember his name. He was Cottonmouth in Black Panther, and he played the guy who tried his best to reach him. You know what I mean? But he was also a thug, and they gave him like best supporting actor or best actor. I'm like, he was in the movie for 10 minutes. Like dog, like you know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
like,
but
it was,
well, that's what we win awards for, though, right?
I have 10 minutes of fame.
Like Denzel Washington
what did
finally won.
what
What
James
did he
Kiss-
win for?
What did James Kiss say? Why did Denzel have to be crooked before he took it?
No, it's true though.
But it also killed me. That, like, so, and then I'm watching the movie, and then it gets to the end of it, and it ended on this really abrupt point, and it was like, so wait, you guys went through all of that for this shitty ass ending? And I was like, okay, the movie was good, but don't come and tell me that this movie was like the most amazing. I'm like, dog, it was good, but it wasn't great.
It was alright.
And it was like, oh, you just didn't get it. Fuck off. I mean, I don't get it. Like, you know,
So I didn't see
hate
the
that phrase.
movie, but why I feel like I can agree with you is because I feel like it went up and fell. Like I haven't
Yeah.
heard Moonlight again until right now.
I just when
That's not
everybody was raving about it, like when people were raving about it,
I was
like, I need to watch this. I want to see what people.
What the big deal is?
I just thought it was going to be this really great, uplifting movie, and it was like quite the opposite. And it was just like, I think because it opens the door for like people who aren't used to like different cultures and different areas and living situations, like whatever. They saw it and they were like, oh, this poor little tortured black boy had to grow up in the hood, and all he had was the chance was to be a thug, and he couldn't let them know that he was gay because I'm like,
that's the hood every
but
fucking
that's just-
day. Like it's like stop acting like this is something like new. You know what I mean?
like it was just like weird to me that it was like made like people just made it sound like it was so much more profound than it was. So when I watched it, I thought it was even if it was about this kid becoming gay and being like whatever, I probably like I just don't even think the movie was that great. Like
it really wasn't. And
I
then
didn't
when
think
they-
it was good quality. I was like, I don't understand how this movie is the award
Do
winning.
you care about spoilers in this at all?
No, I'm
So-
probably not gonna watch it.
So after everything that happens, there was no like ending where he came to terms with who he was.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was still hiding his gayness?
Yes. He ended up being
So
like
at the
a
movie
drug
end-
dealer and a thug who was still hiding his sexuality. Like, you know what I mean? He still couldn't be who it was. He ends up meeting like the guy who like he could be gay around for the first time.
Yeah, that older guy. When he was hiding from those kids or something like that.
Yeah, and, like when a dude gave it was like a couple of grades, maybe a grade or high above him. He gave him a hand job on a beach, and
Oh yeah, that's what the whole movie goes back to.
like it was like, you know what I mean?
It
was like-
goes back to the boy he met in high school who gave him a hand job, and that's how he decided he was gay. The whole movie, he's not gay. Like nobody knows, nobody
they were
whatever.
fucking with him because he was African, I think.
And then towards the end of it, they show that like he meets this guy again, and
Like later on in life, maybe like 10, 15 years later.
And
But-
he gives him a hand job.
No, he gave him a hand job when he was younger, and then he was just like basically him like, where was you when I needed this, when I needed you 15 years ago in high school, when we all do fucked up things when we were in high school. It was like,
Yeah, I don't like it.
no.
yeah, no, it was stupid. I was like, I don't understand why this is the greatest movie. Other than I feel like
I will say this: it opened doors for people to see something they wouldn't normally see. So I get that aspect, but to say like it was like the best movie of the year, like come on, man.
it wasn't like
Like I see what you're doing. Like a year ago, it was Oscar So White. So now it's like all right, let's just give.
so
it a
now, yeah.
Let's
It
try
is-
to fix it.
Like Janelle Monáe has been dope for years. Let's
Amazing.
acknowledge her for in Hidden Figures.
I love her.
You know what I mean? Let's acknowledge her music. Let's acknowledge her stance on the LGBTQ community. Let's not like, oh, she was in this movie. Cut the fucking shit, man. We see what's going on, and like I will say this on the same level of with the Oscars and all that. They were gonna create a new category because they didn't want to put Black Panther as the best movie of the year. It wasn't the best movie of the year, but they were like, we're gonna create a category called I guess most popular movie. And there's no way Black Panther wouldn't have won that.
Right.
They didn't want to be nominated. I'm like, you guys should have taken that just off the fact that this now, you can always say that Black Panther was such a good movie or such a revolutionary movie that they had to create something new for all of them.
Exactly. It's all about perspective though. Because I can understand like we're not good enough for any of your other topics or any of your other titles. So you're gonna create this secondhand title for us? Like, no, fuck you. But what you say is also correct. Like, no, I'm so fucking great that you had to create a new title for me that needs to remain. Don't create it just for this year so you have something to give me. Like, no, keep this title going. And every year there's going to be a most popular movie. So I really feel like it's about perspective. And I feel like that's what we lack as humans.
Yeah.
We lack perspective. Like, I feel like people are so opinionated that they're scared to think outside of their own box.
Sure. Or to look for the good in every situation.
Exactly. Or to see the positive, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I definitely do.
I don't know.
Maria?
No, I agree with that. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair analysis. Like,
yeah.
I agree.
I feel like we're so quick to just jump on the negative bandwagon and try to bring it down and start a bunch of noise and fuck them for this and fuck them for that. Da 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 da. But then it's like what you just said. I was so dope. They had to create this for me.
And even if that is the case, even if I wasn't good enough for any of your other titles or topics, right? But you know that you'd get crucified by the masses if I wasn't included in any of your awards that you're giving away this year. So you're going to create this bullshit. So what? I'm still going to glorify off of it. I'm going to take that brick. Give me that brick and let me add it to my house that I'm building. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Lupe had a great line. He goes, if they offer something, just take it. If they offer something, just take it. Every castle was started in the basement.
Right.
Exactly.
Whew, I am sweating like a hooker in church right now.
You were a hooker in church.
Hey, why you gotta bring up? Oh, I know I gotta talk about it. Why you gotta bring bullshit? Okay, so what? I fucked around a lot when I was younger. So sue me.
I was talking about. Sorry, new topic. I was talking about that at work the other day. Somebody was like, "Your husband is so great. Like, you're lucky that you have like whatever." Which is, he makes a face and he does whatever. I feel like I'm lucky. Like, I am lucky. There are not a lot of good quality men that are not shitty, and I feel bad for you women that have to date and like. I couldn't even imagine having to do that nowadays. It's so different.
I quit.
The dating game is trash.
But I was talking about it the other day, and somebody was like, well, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, no, my husband was a whore. Like, he was a slut before I met him. He says it all the time.
He does.
I don't know what... I ask him all the time, like, what was so different when you met me that you decided not to be a whore anymore? And he was like, I don't know. I just knew that, like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be out, and that I knew I just wanted to be with you. And I was like, okay, fair.
Y'all go get the crack. Can we change it?
I just love that, like me and Amanda used to hit each other up, like, she was, what'd you do yesterday? Like, yo, let me tell you who I did yesterday. And I used to hit her up, like, I randomly text her at like 3 a.m. in my cab home, like, so.
Because he was a hoe.
Guess what I just did? Remember when?
Or Greg's favorite thing he used to, because when I used to live with Greg, his room was like right by the front door. My room was in the back. So he said he would hear the door open at time X, and then 2 hours later he'd hear the door open and close again.
How?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
He's a hoe.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a respectable hoe, though.
Yeah, I was
like, I met him in a nightclub.
I never had a one night stand.
I was wasted. It was my birthday. I was just trying to smash real quick.
What club?
At the Boston Rocks. We were like 25. That was a long time gonna go.
I was slim. I had a 6-pack.
I was just trying to smash real quick. Like, I wasn't trying to.
She said she was gonna go home and masturbate to me.
Like, I just wanted, but he wouldn't sleep with a drunk girl. Like, that was his thing. I won't. He was like, you're wasted, and I was like, what are you talking about? Falling off my heels.
No, like, I could see areola. Like, that's how fucking shorter top was.
Shut up.
It
Don't be talking
was.
about my areola like that.
25 areolas, okay. That's community areola.
Oh shit.
Community area.
What? Who says that?
It's a Chris Rock joke. He goes, 30-year-old titty, your husband's titty. 20-year-old titty, community titty.
Wow.
Because he was talking about when Janet Jackson popped the titty out. He goes, the titty was like, what are all these people doing? He was like, yeah, pop a 30-year-old titty out.
I can't stand you.
Alright, so let's get into the other topic at hand. We were talking about, Amanda, you found this 30-day, you explain what it is.
Okay, so one of my friends posted some challenges on what you can do for mental health, positive mental health awareness, pretty much for yourself, like self-love, self-reflection, etc., etc. Last month, I think this month was anxiety. It's a 21-day challenge for anxiety. Next month is going to be a 30-day challenge for happiness.
Oh wow! So this is not what we're gonna be doing.
So are we doing this next month?
If you want to.
I'm with it.
You're not
Okay.
obligated to. I don't want people to feel pressured or like, I have to do this. No, you don't have to. It's all on where you are mentally.
Have you met me? I don't feel personal obligated to do shit.
What was the one we did last month, Nedra?
I have it here. I can show you.
Pull it up real quick. It was a 21-day challenge or 20?
21.
It was a 21-day challenge. And every day you just do something different that's positive to kind of just have a better mind state for whatever you have. So we have that. While she's looking for that, there's the different challenges a month. And then I also have the 5-in-1, which is 5 things you're thankful or grateful for and 1 thing you like about yourself. I feel like right now there's seasonal depression where there's no sun out, it's cold, people feeling miserable,
Like
life
you
is
get
happening.
up and it's dark, you leave work and it's still dark.
Life is happening, and honestly, the purpose of the 5-in-1 is to come up with the 5 things first thing in the morning, so that when you leave, you start your day on a positive note.
Which is something we
So those
started
of
doing, which
you
was great.
Who respond at night?
I do it at night.
It's okay. I get where you guys were
reflect.
coming from. I get where you guys were coming from. Totally get that. But the purpose is to wake up with a positive mindset.
Okay.
To go out into the day with those 5 things that you're thankful for, to keep that energy going.
Okay.
Because with the fact that a lot of people, everybody has insecurities. I don't care what anyone says. We all have insecurities. And so if we start off the day with at least, they say if you start the day with at least 1 positive thought, you'll have a good day. So I pushed that to 5. Let's start my day with 5 things I'm thankful for. Because maybe I ended my day yesterday shitty. Let me wake up today with a positive mindset and something I like about myself. And let me keep this energy throughout the day. So there's that one. And then there's also the intermittent fasting. I can never say that word.
You did a good job.
Intermittent fasting that I'm doing with Nedra. And we're doing the 16-8. So we fast for 16 hours. We don't eat any food. We just have black coffee, black tea, and water. And then after, we eat something for 8 hours. Whatever we want to have. We try to stay on a healthy route. If it doesn't go that way, it doesn't go that way. If it does, it does. Great. But we do 16 and 8. And we hold each other accountable. So I feel like accountability groups are great, because then you got somebody pushing you like, don't fuck up. You know, you got somebody making you
Or get your shit
accountable for your fuck up. You know,
You mean like Lavelle yelling at me 2 days ago?
and then me backing his yelling up. Yeah. Yeah, like that. Like, I would have a bad day like, Nedra, I just ate a whole box of macaroni and cheese. At 10:30 at night. She'd be like, bitch, you cannot eat until 6 tomorrow. Because you chose to eat a whole box of mac. She was like, you know what? I get emotional eating. But what the fuck did you start the challenge for? And I was like, damn. All right.
I thought I was doing so good until I read the text again, and I was like, oh, to noon. Yeah, no, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
And you know what? And I respect people who be like, nope, I can't do it. Because when I first heard about it, I was like, nope, I can't do it. But so what I was doing when I first started the intermittent fasting was I would only eat fruits and vegetables for the fasting part,
Okay.
and then when I was time to eat, I would have food,
That's
like
not a bad-
solid food.
That's just not a bad idea.
And then, so I did that for a month, and then I slowly transitioned into this part of it. So it wasn't like I just woke up one day and was like, I'm just not going to eat for 16 hours. No, it was like, I need to make my way to that.
Okay.
It's a challenge. And you're not challenging anybody else, you're challenging yourself.
Right.
You always have to compete with yourself. You can't look to the next person and be like, oh, I'm going to do what they're doing. No, because you don't know what they have to do to get there.
Exactly.
So you have to challenge yourself. It's an inner thing. It's a mind over matter. And that's what the purpose of the challenges are. Are you going to challenge yourself? Are you going to hold yourself accountable for the fucked up things you're doing that you know you're not supposed to be doing? Like, how strong are you to fight your own demons?
Right.
Fair.
That's what the purpose of all the challenges are. Did you find it?
Yeah, so I did find the one from November, which was the first one that I did. It was 20, and it's titled 20-Day Mental Wellness Challenge. And I'm not going to read the whole 20 days, but some of the things that helped me the most, like on day 7, it said make a list of short-term goals.
That was one of my favorites.
That was one of my favorites because I feel like with these challenges, it forces you or it challenges you to be responsible and to stick to your determination. You know what I'm saying? And it gives you something every day to look for. We've all had our New Year's resolutions. We all said we were going to start on Sunday. We all said we was going to start on Monday. But I feel like having these particular challenges with specific instructions each day has taught me discipline.
Yep.
Now, and it has helped me with, so last month when we did the November challenge, that was my first time, and I was so proud of myself because I stuck to it and I did every single day.
Yep.
This
and we held
month,
up with each other.
I'm holding myself so accountable for this, and we're actually doing 17/7. We figured it out the other day. Our hours are off a little bit, so we're fasting 17 hours and eating for 7 hours.
Okay.
Yep.
But I've been able to stick with it with the discipline that I taught myself from the November challenge, and that along with doing this December challenge, it gives you something to look forward to. One, at least for me, it gives me something to look forward to, and it gives me something to hold myself accountable for outside of just what I said in my head that I was going to do. You get what I'm saying?
Because you
Yeah, I
got
get
to
it.
think it and then follow it by action.
Exactly.
And it's funny because one of the people in the group that I'm doing that is in this challenge with me, she said that this challenge actually did not work out for her. She said it didn't help her at all. And I asked her, I said, well, give me some detail about it. She said, talking is awesome, but unless you are fully committed to it, all you're doing is talking.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's 100%.
But then
It is.
that's on her, right? Because she wasn't fully committed.
It
to
is, but I guess that's the plus side of it. It took the challenge for her to realize she wasn't where she
fully
needed
committed.
to be.
Okay.
That's dope. So you know what's funny? In actuality, the challenge actually kind of worked.
It does work.
Exactly.
And the plus side, because now you've held yourself accountable. You've been able to reflect and be like, this shit didn't work because I wasn't even mentally ready for this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? Talking to my therapist, and it was something that he has to constantly remind me of. He says that people like alcoholics, drug addicts, or whatever your vice may be that you're trying to overcome, he goes, people always have this thing where they think, you stop cold turkey and you're done.
Nope.
And that's just the end of it. And
Nope.
he goes, you're going to relapse. That is going to happen. But you have to always have to remember to not, and this is something I struggle with.
Pieces.
Huh?
Sorry. I said pick up the pieces.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, you got to pick yourself up, and it was funny. The analogy he gave me was like a pendulum. Like, you know what I mean? He goes, like, so I'll get really high on, like, yeah, I did really good this day. So the pendulum's like sky high, but when I fail, I gotta swing right. You know what I mean, on the other side. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that I did all of these challenges. Because some of them I'm like, my fat ass is not fitting in my tub. Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't do that one either because I felt the same way.
But
I'm not gonna lie, I do squeeze my fat ass into our tub, but it was dirty and I didn't feel like washing it.
and I legit.
And he was
can't.
like, "I'm not washing that right now," and I was like, "Okay, I'm not getting in the tub."
But you know what's
I'll take a shower.
But you know what's funny about that is though we both had a good laugh about it, so it still ended up having that still kind of like positive, like happiness, that kind of energy that kind of went with it, and it was also funny. It was just the idea, the thought about, because I try my best, and I am an angry person by nature, so a lot of these things I look at them and I'm like, can I do this?
You try to find the easy way out too.
I do.
You try to find the easiest way.
absolutely-
I'd be like, you need to ask
You just
Amanda.
gotta do it.
Oh, what was it? What was it?
She's our tiebreaker, our deal breaker when it comes to any.
Oh yeah. What was it?
I'm like, you have to ask
20 minutes-
Amanda. The walk.
for 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Was it
They
supposed to
text
be
me
a
on the
full
side.
20 minutes, right?
Yeah,
Because I was like, no, we're supposed to be outside for 20 minutes. We're gonna walk up and around and go all the way down and around. We'll be outside. He's like, no, I'm walking to the store. I'm walking in the store. I'm getting my stuff. I'm walking out. I'll be out a matter of 20 minutes. And then I said, no.
Consecutive.
Sidebar. Amanda.
I didn't even
should it
text
be
her. I
consecutive?
called her. I wasn't even texting her. I called her because I
They
didn't
did.
want.
And I was scared. My anxiety kicked in. Y'all know I don't like phone calls. My body started shaking. I was like, fuck, something's wrong. People, don't
You know-
call me without
it's funny.
free text
And it's funny.
to tell me I'm going to call you. Nothing is wrong.
Dude, I think I said to you.
I
I
can
think when I called
breathe.
you, I was like, "Yo, nothing's wrong." I just
Right,
have a
that is the
question.
first thing you
'Cause
said.
So, and it was funny. So she voted right, and it's funny. It ended up working out because as we were talking. Oh yeah. And so as we were talking to you, I kid you not. As soon as we got in front of the door, 20 minutes.
20 minutes passed.
20
They're
minutes
like,
passed.
See?
And
and
it
he
worked
was
out.
like, all right, fine.
So, but it was funny. So we walked around the store, and
There's
I
a couple lessons here.
Yeah.
To your wife.
Happy spouse, happy
lesson
house.
2. If you have questions, refer to step 1.
I don't got a wife. Do I need to get one?
Yeah, Maria. So what was funny was we went in and went shopping, but like the 20 minutes helped in such a good mood, and it ended up being a nice day. We sat out and had like store-bought sushi.
Yes, that's when you
Yeah.
guys ate outside in the sun.
Yeah.
Yes,
We
so
just
you
sat
did
there
2
and chilled.
challenges in one day. I
Yeah.
love it.
Exactly. And
I
I was
love
going
it.
to say that the follow-up,
And it was
you
so
can
good,
do the
like-
follow-up.
And
Like,
then
we
it-
were talking earlier, I have 2 jobs, so
I have to.
I'm backed up on my days that
got
I'm
kids?
supposed to do. I don't.
She has a husband. That's a
I
kid.
have, yeah. And I have a fish.
It's okay. You a grown ass baby.
I have a fish
Old
that
baby?
if the AAPC came to my house, they'd probably lock me up. Because the tank is so dirty. But I say that to say, like, I actually take baths. Like, I use that as me time.
I do that sometimes.
Bubba
too.
baths.
Yep, I read my book. My phone is silent. I don't even have.
I
it
put
with me.
wine.
don't have
I got a whole setup.
Yo.
I light my eucalyptus candle or my lavender
Yep.
candle, whatever
Hold on.
it is.
Did you guys get
I
your
use
essential oils
Epsom
for
salt.
today?
No.
Let me tell you something. Don't
Is
sleep
baby
on the
oil
essential
essential?
oils. No.
No,
Don't
essential oils.
Next thing I'm gonna lose myself up later.
sleep, don't
Okay, hold
sleep
on, hold
on
on.
the essential
Hold on,
oils.
hold on. What if I put it in some water and I boil it?
You can.
Yeah,
You dead
I
ass
mean,
can.
But baby oil.
Baby oil?
No,
Oh.
you need like lavender,
You just
eucalyptus,
smell.
No, you need something that's
aromatherapy.
gonna do something for your spirit, for your soul.
When you inhale those things, they
So we have
definitely
sex later.
calm
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
I don't know if all the essential oils.
No,
It might be.
seriously. You could have tried.
That oil is essential.
No, I
You're
can't
so gross.
stand you. I can't.
You know what?
I really think you should.
And I'm
give it a
gonna
try.
hold you to it. So later when you tell me, literally the other day he came home, he was like, I'm gonna let you know right now, sexy time ain't happening. And I was like, I didn't even ask you. He's like, yeah, but I'm just telling you right now, it's not happening.
Just throw it out the window.
I just want you to know that.
Just so she knows.
Before we do anything
Just so
or
she
go
knows.
further in our day, it's not gonna happen.
But so what I was saying
Okay,
is,
sorry.
there's nothing wrong with following up. I feel like that falls in line with the accountability. Like I said, I was going to do this challenge. I'm going to do every day. I may not have been able to do it on the day of, but I'm going to get it done. Like
Okay.
Right.
I feel like the follow up needs to be there too, and that helps with the discipline. At least for me, anyway. And mentally, I feel like me doing these challenges, because I'm learning the discipline from them, I feel like I have been happier, like mentally. And
Yeah.
to the point of the 5 and 1, I do them at the end of the day because I feel like I can do them at the beginning of the day. I wake up and I'm grateful. Like naturally, I try to start my day on a positive note. However, the day can beat down at that shit. Like can literally, like I almost feel like physically beat down at your mental. And I feel like going to bed on a positive note helps me overnight.
It does, because how you fall asleep is how you wake up.
Exactly. So
It's a fact.
thinking about my day and being like, I can complain about all of this shit, but put that aside. Let me shuffle it out. Let me pull out the positives. At least find 5. And I'm going to be honest. Some days I struggle. Like,
Me
what
too.
am I going to tell these people?
Sometimes I
Because
struggle too when I
right
hear
now, only thing I could think about is the fact that I want to
I'm
cuss
up.
this bitch out. The soccer mom in the Honda Odyssey that almost drove me off the road. Like, I
Yep.
really,
Sounds like
really.
my life.
Like,
I'm serious.
I really,
There-
really struggled.
there's-
Like, I sat on the fucking red line for 45 minutes because they couldn't figure out how to get the train in front of me.
Oh,
to
what,
move.
that was like Wednesday, I think
Yes,
it
it was.
'Cause
I
my-
had a
my
fucking
buddy-
training, and they couldn't
was
figure
so
out
late.
how to move the damn car in front of me. They had to cue another train to come and push it, but they didn't know how they was gonna get it.
No.
Like,
According
y'all
to the-
motherfuckers
according to
act
the
like y'all
MBTA,
started yesterday.
According to the MBTA, it was a signal problem.
I can't.
So my best friend was on there. He left his house at 7:30. No, he left his house at 7 o'clock to be at work because he wanted to get to work early and get his shit done. He didn't get to work till 9:30.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but she
I was
started
late.
earlier that day too because I catch my train at like 6 and I got to work like 40 minutes late.
Yeah, and I
They
feel like
lag.
since
them
then
motherfuckers.
it's been like every other day something's wrong with the red line, and I work in Fenway, so it makes more sense for me to take the train.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, get y'all shit together.
Get your shit together.
All right.
Oh, hold up. I got a good one. And me and Maria were laughing at this. I love the MBTA has these new like videos that we're preparing for the
Oh, for
winter.
the snow?
Oh, nigga, shut up! You ain't preparing for shit.
Y'all can't even get through the cold. I feel like the shit with the red line started the days that we had 20-degree
Yes.
weather. Like, y'all can't even be ready for the
And they're
cold.
talking about
And
the
you talking
snow.
about the snow.
This dude, this was the greatest shit ever. I was on the Orange Line. I was at Stony Brook. And the woman over there goes, sorry for the inconvenience. And this wasn't like the automated voice. This was a woman, the conductor, on the PA. She was like, please excuse the delay. It's cold and the trains are old. And I said out loud, I went,
know what?
nigga.
I appreciate
Loud as
you,
hell.
man. But see, I appreciate honesty. I've always
just tell me the
appreciated
goddamn
honesty.
truth, yeah.
Like,
Me too.
don't beat around the bush. Cut through that motherfucker and tell me what the fuck it is. Like, it's cold and the trains are old. I get it. That's gonna give me a little bit
I
more
asked the
patience to
conductor
deal
one
with your
day. He was
ass.
hanging out the window. The train was stopped for a while. I went and asked him. I said, is this train going to move anytime soon? He goes, you want the honest truth? I
Yeah.
said, yes. He said, no. I was like, I'm going to get an Uber. Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
always
Because I was sitting there. I'm like, this train's not going to fucking daylight.
So there's two other people that I'm doing the challenge with.
Shout out to Yanni.
Yeah.
This is what he said.
Not like that, boo. Not like
Threw
that.
her off.
Another person that I asked about, I gave them the questions like, how have the 30 days helped you? What were the challenges and what are you looking forward to? Her first response was, I don't like you. And then she goes, 30 days have been encouraging. Hated it at first, but enjoyed it more and more over time. Helped me find the silver lining each day. Challenges were forcing myself to find things to be thankful for when I was in the midst of a problem or conflict. And more so with finding things about myself to like when I've been feeling insecure and inadequate. I look forward to continuing the challenge and to sharing my thoughts, emotion, and challenges with my friend. Staying motivated even when it is a struggle. Now leave me alone, woman. That's how she ended it. I have a guy friend that is also doing the challenge, and
Shout out to you for actually being a guy and like that attempted.
So it was
because
funny.
a lot of guys don't really
they
take
won't.
care of their mental.
And here's the kicker: when I was telling him about it, and he was like, "Yo, that's dope. I wish men did something like this." And I said, "Well, you know what? There's a guy in the group who's doing it with me, and his wife joined in to support him." And so he was like, "Yo, that's dope." And I was like, "If you want to, there's no like boundaries.
You don't have to
It's
sign
right.
up.
It's not.
It's not an
There aren't any
application.
boundaries if you could be a man or a woman doing it." And so I was like, "Do you want to do it?" He said, "Yeah." How have the 30 days helped you? The 30-day program provided a cool little means for being mindful of the simple yet effective things which may bring us happiness. The small gestures and tasks may seem basic, but when added together and applied to our daily routines, it can enhance the overall production of our day if we start them off with the listed tasks in developing healthy habits and building character. What were the challenges? I didn't have any challenges yet, but I see a few upcoming assignments which the timing or access to resources of them may not be available, but I plan to compromise and do a multiple of them on those days. What are you looking forward to? I am looking forward towards the results of how life will enhance as I use these, as well as add my own little things to the list and apply them. Self-reflection, taking time out to do something we love, or extending random acts of kindness can just be the tools needed to uplift us individually and collectively.
Nice.
And this is a man,
appreciate
a
both of
black
their
man.
responses.
That was his response to, not to say that a white man would give me a different result, but we know the struggle that our black men are going through with being able to acknowledge their mental health and actually do something about it and do the work.
Keep that shit buried until that shit eventually just.
And doing the work.
Yeah. What was it? I gotta say, I wanted to bring this up. I failed on the social media one a couple times. Once during the day, because I was on there and I got a response from a one of the writers that I admire. I was like, fuck. And I tried not to look at it, and I was like, fuck it. So I looked at that, and I did it again at night with
Sorry, I'm side-eyeing him.
I know. Because you told us, you said you got bored on the train one day. But you know what?
That's what it was.
That's the part of the challenge. It's a self accountability. Like, shit, do I do this or do I not? Do
You know what's
I
funny?
wait this out?
And it was like, I did it, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. And then as I did it, I went, fuck, I didn't even need to do this. It was like, so I did it for no reason. But I will say this, though, since then, I've spent a lot less time on social media.
Amen.
So have I.
And I do a lot more, and that's funny because now the Old Man Wade Show, I post more on the Old Man Wade Show
Me too.
group now than I do anything else. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck about most of y'all.
Yeah. Can I just tell you, that's my social media life. Like, the social media challenge wasn't much for me because I'm so over, like we were talking about yesterday with the fake relationship post and the,
We're talking about that today.
Oh yeah, today. It feels like
My life is so
we can
amazing.
speak on that too, by the way.
My life is so amazing. Like, I really just don't even, I don't care about people's personal life because I feel like I need to focus so much on my own life, my own mental health, my own physical health, my own emotional health, that when you add social media into that, and I feel like it adds additional stress because subconsciously we're looking at what other people are doing and what their life is like, and we're wondering and we're comparing subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fair to myself. It's not fair to myself, and I have to be honest. Like, with the challenge of social, so this November wasn't the first time I've seen one of these challenges. Like, Amanda and I have shared these type of challenges before. Have I been as committed? No. But in previous challenges, there was a social media pause or cleanse or whatever, and I deleted social media, the apps from my phone. I have not had those apps back until recently. I did download Instagram because Amanda needed to send me something through DM, which I didn't know Instagram had. I have
I
DMs.
don't even know how Instagram works, so
I have so many DMs. But anyway, but you realize how much time it takes. Like, I've been able to do so many other things. I finished a book. I started and I'm halfway through another book, which is something I always told myself I wanted to do. I wanted to pick up books again, start reading, you know, get your mental together, expand your vocabulary, get your brain working, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like with social media, if you pick up that app, you will get lost for hours.
Yeah, it's like the YouTube wormhole and stuff like that. But you know what's funny about that is you say that, and I've noticed, like with me, and it's like she can testify to this, and it's also something I want to bring up, that I want to throw a curveball or something. But I get, like, people will say something and I legitimately would get upset, and I'm like, yo, who the F are you to tell me this? And Maria was like, just get off.
Like, why are you on
Like,
it?
and I
Like, he was getting angry, like, physically, like
I needed to get my stress ball.
So
to
mad.
like,
I'm like,
That's part of the challenge.
turn it off.
Yeah,
Creative
it's
coming up.
Make your own stress ball.
It's actually really fun to do that.
I'm never
I
done
used to do
mine.
it with my kids all the time. I work
So-
psych. So.
But like, yeah, and it's just, and it was just, so like now there's this one dude I know who pushes my buttons, and then this morning I was gonna curse him out, and I was just like, man, I was just like, instead of getting into it, I was like,
Or even just delete people. I tell them that all the
I
time.
delete
Well,
people
They're
all the
like,
time.
this
No,
guy,
hold
he
on.
keeps on talking shit. He keeps on. I'm like, delete him.
Hold on. There are some people I selfishly keep on there because they read my articles and they download the show. So their numbers. Once I don't need
So
them,
then hide their shit. You don't have to see their.
I
posts.
did. I do that. I do
Okay.
that now. So I hide people I don't give a shit about. There's one dude I flat out like unfriended and was like, don't even fucking talk to me. He was trying to defend blackface. And so,
I was like, why are you friends with that dude?
it was like good fucking question. And fucking deleted him. But so I bring this up because Maria did something that she just talked about. Was like, get off Facebook. Like when when Fuckboy 45 was elected, I was like just.
Oh, you were enamored in every conversation, everything.
And I was ready, and I was like straight cursing people out. Like, yo, how can you defend this dude who's doing this and doing that? She was like, just get off.
Like he was
And she
angry
was like,
in his real life. because of what was happening
going to work,
on
like
social
just,
manager.
like just like angry. She
I was like, don't look at it anymore. And he was like, but I'm like, no, just stop. It's making you toxic. It's hurting your soul. Like,
so I did.
it's-
So absolutely. So I've spent less and less time as time goes on, and I bring that up because it was something. Yesterday, a buddy of mine was like, Kanye West went on this rant. I'm like, oh, what the fuck did he do now?
Lord.
And I was like, I'm thinking it's just some random rant that he went on, like whatever, no big deal, right? This dude. Everyone here has, except for Marie, you might have one, and I just don't know. Does everyone here have a Twitter?
I do not have a Twitter. What do you mean?
don't
you
even
just
know the
don't I don't have
login.
a Twitter. Exactly.
But you know how it works, right?
Yeah.
So you know it takes what? We'll say a minute. It takes a minute to write a tweet, right? Tops. He was on there for 2 to 3 hours tweeting one sentence things. I'm like, dog, you need to get the fuck off this shit. And I bring it, and the reason it popped in my head was because Maria has been the person to be like, yo, get off. Like, you know what I mean? It's not my wife's job to tell me to do that, but I would say it's her part-time job to make sure I'm not doing anything that's toxic to me, to us,
self-destructive.
and to, it's self-destructive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm very careful with my words now, because, well, ever since we got married, now she has, like, my last name, and we are bound together by God and the law. Like, we now have, like, Odin. So like now that like so I have to be careful with the things I say now and so on and so forth. So, but it's like at what point does Kim go, you're fucking up my brand too. You're fucking up our family.
No.
You're fucking up your brand.
When I look at that whole situation, I don't understand his wife. Like Kanye, he's saying like, I don't understand that, broad. If Mark was, let's say Mark makes it big with his writing in his show. Mark's doing well.
When?
Mark is whatever.
Right, when?
If he's self-sabotaging his shit, I would be the first one being like, what the fuck are you saying? Are you stupid? Or like I don't understand as his wife too, like why she's not concerned with his behavior at
And she's
times.
defending it.
And she's
You don't see her tweets defending it. Don't come at my husband. Oh, I think that was the beef.
But that's what I don't like. If I know Mark is doing something straight up
Okay.
ignorant and he's being an asshole, I rail him in. I'm like, Mark, you're being ridiculous, and he'll be like, no, I'm not. Blah blah blah. And I will tell him every reason why I think he's being ridiculous, and he'll sit and he'll think about it, and he'll be like, you're right. I'm gonna rail it in. I feel like to let your husband destroy himself that much in public face, I feel like she doesn't care about him. I don't know, like.
But you have to realize she's defending him, so she doesn't feel like he's destroying himself.
Right.
She feels like he's protecting them.
Like, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
Which is even worse because she's an idiot.
exactly.
Anyway.
So birds
I
of a
hate
feather
that
fly
family.
together.
I don't understand the whole popularity. Her mother exploited her off of her sex tape.
Oh, she's a
when
fuck.
she was a child. It's just weird to me
Their mother is a
that
pimp.
people
Like, and I don't
sweat
mean that
them
in like
like
the
that.
positive word. Like her mother is a fucking pimp.
Like the fact that like people are so enamored by them or
It drives
like
me nuts.
look at them like they're a positive like influence.
Or gold. Hashtag gold.
A goal, yeah, like it makes me crazy. I'm like, they're trash. They made money off of being trash, and they continue to be trash. Like she exploited her child and turned it into a profit, and then got her plastic surgery and did all this shit. And
They all have the same doctor because they go from looking like what they look like to looking
all
like
of
each
a
other.
sudden, yeah, it's
But-
crazy.
So I have to bring this back up again. It's perspective. Her mother is giving society what they want, and they're banking off of
Off
it.
of her child, though.
They're banking,
but off of her child's back.
But it's
Like
easier,
literally
Yeah.
off your child's backside.
banking off of
it's
it.
easier
Like,
to gain an audience off of toxic shit.
exactly. And her mother
Nobody wants
recognizes
to be
that.
around. Not nobody. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. A lot of people
Too
prefer
many
to be
people.
around toxicity rather than positivity,
Too many people.
That's just
and that's what
sad.
they're making money off. of.
So you can say that her mother is a pimp and all of these bad things, or
But it's making
you can
them rich.
say her mother is really smart. Like, you know what? If you're gonna go out there and you're gonna make sex tapes with dummies and
Then we're
get
gonna make money
exploited,
off of it.
then let me show you how to.
But
do
I
it.
can't look at that and tell little girls that that's what they should aspire to.
Absolutely not.
Like it literally hurts my feelings.
Absolutely not.
When
I
you
agree
see,
with
like,
you
young
100%.
girls, like-
I don't think they should be goals. I don't think they should be role models. I don't think they should be anything that we try to teach our young women to be. Not at all. However, I feel like her mother did maximize off of a situation. Did her mother raise her to be that person? We don't know, because we don't know past that. But
Facts.
I feel like her mother did say, you know what, if this, I'm going to
If
take
this
these
is what's gonna
lemons
and I'm gonna make
and I'm going to
lemonade.
make lemonade, and ain't nobody in this family going to be thirsty. Because I don't even know why other people got money. But I know they got money. Like, what do they do?
Nothing.
You should copyright that phrase.
Sell
I'm gonna make
shit.
lemonade and make sure no one's
None of us are I'm
You
going to
should
put it on a
copyright
t-shirt.
Listen,
Actually, I know a guy. He did these.
I got a couple phrases I could put on a t-shirt.
I definitely
but
feel like your significant other should play a big part in your brand. Like, I try to keep my business page as professional as possible. We did have a moment of joking around with when you suggested me having a sugar daddy babysitting him. I deleted it, of course, because I was like, I gotta be professional. Like, if this was on my personal page, fine, but
I thought, you know what's funny? I thought it was until I went back to go find it. And I was like, oh shit, that was on Candy.
yeah,
I didn't realize it until
I deleted it. And then it was funny because after I deleted it, my ex was like, I think you should keep your business page business-wise. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, your conversation with old man Wade. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but that was personal.
Dog.
Okay, so your spouse should definitely play a part. What you were saying.
Right. I was just like, okay. Like, I had already deleted it. I laughed at it, and we had fun. I deleted it because I was like, yo, this is my business page. I kind of gotta make sure, I keep it positive. But I had fun with it. Like, I don't look at you in any glass because we had fun about getting me a.
And if it was
Rich
if it was
40-year-old.
that big a deal, you would have hit me up and been like, hey,
Chill.
yeah.
A
Right.
rich 40-year-old woman. That's not how sugar daddies work. You're looking at a rich 70-year-old.
And one time, hit the brakes. Y'all acting like these fucking NBA athletes and fucking rock stars and singers and rappers ain't sugar daddy and these women.
They probably are.
Oh no,
No,
sure
absolutely.
if it was a 20-year-old, of course they are.
Yo, these dudes got the game.
Those girls don't stick around. I
got
know
the game.
chicks like that.
Oh,
I know chicks
fuck.
who literally. I knew this girl. Literally, this one dude paid for all her clothes, all her handbags, all her.
They got a website for
I
it.
used to work with her. Yeah, sugar babies.
Yeah.
Then she had a
Whoa,
dude.
whoa,
paying-
no, we're not skipping over.
You know what
is
this
the
is?
age limit?
You had a
No,
conversation about that.
You married. You out the
Never
game,
mind,
boo.
never mind.
I'm single.
I'm
No,
asking
no.
for.
I'm not sure
What's
who's
the age group?
Let's
No,
not do it.
so to be a
I-
sugar baby, you have to be like in your 20s, and to be a sugar daddy, you have to be like I think wealthy. Like as long as you're independently wealthy, it doesn't matter. Like that's the whole point of it. So it's sugar daddies and sugar babies.
Yo.
So you have to be an attractive female in your lower 20s, like to
I think that's
mid-20s.
unfair because in my lower to mid 20s, I didn't really have bills that I needed a sugar daddy to help me out with.
Right.
So I feel like they
It
need
ain't
to.
about-
I mean, but it's not
You
even
don't
that's about
really need a
living the
sugar
life,
daddy.
though. You're
Yeah.
getting clothes, you're getting jewelry, you're
I
going on
guess because I'm an
vacation.
adult, I think about it differently
You
now.
are-
But
so I
Almost like damn.
I know somebody who actually used this site, and I'm not going to say names because I don't know if this person would want me to tell
I know
people
someone that
this
uses it
stuff.
too.
Yo, let me tell you right
But
now, I am
she-
not gonna knock anybody for using that
No.
because
Me neither.
Because if somebody wants to spend their money on that,
Let
cool,
them.
do your thing. So I'm not even gonna knock a female for doing
in
or
that
you for doing
instance in
that.
particular, yes, because they have to sign up to be sugar daddies, right?
Yeah.
So you
And
knew
you
what you were
sign
signing
up
up. It's
to
not
be a
like
sugar baby.
I'm using you against your will. Like you
No.
signed up for it.
You knew what you was getting into.
Like it's essentially for older dudes to have sex with younger girls and buy them shit.
See,
That's
It's essentially prostitution, but like whatever.
prostitution.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That is
because
the literal definition of
Growing
a
up-
hoe.
listen,
No,
you didn't
no, no, no,
necessarily
no,
have
no,
to
no,
have
no,
sex.
That
no,
is the
wait,
literal.
wait.
If you are paying
Mark.
for sex,
Mark.
that is the literal definition
Mark.
of a hoe.
That's a hoe in the United States of America. In other countries, if you choose to sell your body, it is considered sex work. If I want to sell my body and have sex with others for money, it doesn't make me a whore. That's just my job. I have nothing against it. If it's consensual and you want to do it and you know what it's all about and you're getting paid, go for it. Like, that's your business, that's your body, that's your whole.
So it's illegal here
A female
because the
prostitute-
government
oh, it's an
can't
offensive
tax
word.
you.
Tax you.
I take it back. I take it back. You're not a hoe. You are a prostitute. You are a sex worker. I take
You're
that
a
back.
sex worker.
I didn't
That's
know.
what you just said.
And
No,
if
no,
you wanna-
I didn't know the word.
But for
I didn't know
me-
the word hoe was offensive. I thought that was like the literal definition of it.
Like
You
in
know what I
other
mean?
states and other countries that allow legal
'Cause I'm not-
prostitution,
Canada's
It's
legal.
legal.
It's
Vegas.
legal in Vegas.
Not all
The Bunny Ranch. You can go there. Look at a menu, see what your options are, and
They
pay
pass out
per.
flyers for the prostitutes.
Yeah, but you have to go to the specific part of Vegas
Right.
to do it. So, like, it's funny. There are rules in Vegas that I found out. For example, you've been to Vegas, right? Mm-hmm. You've been to Vegas? Vegas
It's
is
fucking expensive for me.
Vegas.
It's not that bad
It's
though.
not.
If
It's
you
not.
if you
I'm not
budget
saying
right.
to get there. I'm just saying.
No.
No,
To be
it's
there,
not.
it's
It's
not.
not.
No, it's
It's
not.
not.
You
You
three
can go
are the
so
only
easy.
people that have told
You
me
know,
it's
there's a
not.
lot of people
You can
want
do
to
that fun
live
shit,
the
too.
life. Like we.
Right.
Yeah.
People be trying to force that shit. You don't got
Yeah,
to.
no.
You know how much fun I
No.
had? Me and one of my best friends, Fletcher, who's been on the show, we were up one night playing the nickel and penny slots for 3 hours, just laughing and drinking.
The last time
I
we
checked-
went, we didn't even spend any money on slots.
No, and it's funny. I tipped the woman because when you're gambling, you drink for free.
I think it's Fox with most casinos.
So
Penny slots.
So the woman came over and handed me a beer, and she goes, "No, it's free." I said, "Okay, can I tip you $20 and then just not have to worry about this for the rest of the night?" She was like, "Yeah." So before my drink was halfway done, she was putting another one down because she respected it. So I spent $20 for 10 beers. You know what I mean? So like,
You can go to Vegas and
Yeah,
do a
Vegas-
lot of fun
It
shit
wasn't
for
even
cheap.
just about that. They were saying like normal stuff, like a water would be $5 in Walgreens. Like they were saying how, like
But you
fast
buy
food
a
is,
gallon
like-
for $2 and you put that shit in a cup. You get an ice at any vendor along
Let
the
me tell
whole
you
fucking
something.
way. It's easy.
Let me tell you something. By the time you finish walking down the strip and all these vendors that are giving you these large ass liquors,
Yeah.
you'll pay $20 for that bottle of water because it's hot as fuck.
And you're
you've
wasted.
already
Yeah.
drank more than what you would normally spend out.
Right.
So spending $5 on a water is not a big deal.
You've been to
because
New
you
York,
spend
right?
any other money.
You've been to New York probably
New York's
assuming
way more
multiple times, right?
expensive.
Is New York expensive?
Yeah.
New York's way more expensive than Vegas.
Manhattan, going
Yeah.
through Manhattan, legit.
But that's my point, though. Like, you can
Way
find the
more.
places.
Times Square, everything is always
Yeah.
That's
more
the thing.
expensive.
But then you guys can both find the places in New York where you're not spending like
Yeah,
you-
money.
I go to Brooklyn and Queens.
Yeah,
Stay the fuck out of Manhattan.
exactly. So you know what I mean? Like there are certain places in New York. Like there was that Guy Fieri restaurant. I was like, no. And it was like $30 for a hamburger. I'm paying $30 for a hamburger. Fuck you. Like you know what I mean? I'll go to McDonald's. Same shit. But you know, well, not the same shit.
Well,
But-
you get the heartburn from McDonald's.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, it is. But back to the topic at hand. Like, just the idea of just like ruining your brand. And Amanda, you were gonna say something. I cut you off, and I apologize for
I
that.
don't remember.
She's like, I don't know what I'm talking about now.
Yeah,
No.
Well, so okay, I can say and I'm gonna use the word regular because I can't think of any other vocabulary to use. But in a regular relationship, I do think it is a responsibility of your spouse to call you out on your shit.
Yeah.
And
100%.
whether it's your brand, your job,
Anything in life, period.
in life, exactly,
Your actions.
to pull you up on your shit. And I think it's your responsibility to appreciate your spouse and understand that we're a team. So what I'm telling you is not to hurt you. What I'm telling you, I need you to hear what I'm saying and to understand that I'm saying it for the best of both of us.
Like, out of
And
love.
if I'm wrong, if you think about what I'm saying, you feel like I'm wrong, then let's have a conversation about it. However, understand that I'm coming to you because I love you, I love us, and I feel like you need to get your shit together. Pick up the pieces because they're falling apart. You feel what I'm saying?
but I think people have it fucked up. But like that's any relationship, whether it be romantic or friendship. Like you have to have there has to be a
People
lot
to
of
call you know.
you have to have people
You need
call
people
you.
that's gonna
You
call
need
you out and be
people
like,
around.
"Yo, sit down. We need to talk."
Exactly.
For real, and I don't think people have this this misconception that, but like you were all talking about earlier today and on the show a little while ago, that because you see something that's what it is. Like I've had like there was one instance before me and Maria were married. We went to our friend's going away party. We argued from the time we left my house to the time we got to the house. Smiled and laughed and joked. But before we got in the car, I was like, "Oh, we're not done having this argument yet." But smiled and joked for everyone else. But like that's just the front we put up for other people. But
That's
we don't
not a front.
Is it a front though? I don't think
But
I would
that's
use
not
the
a
word
front.
front. It's exactly what you're supposed to do because,
Yes.
again, your personal life is not everyone's business.
Yes.
Going
Right.
back to the social media thing, I don't care about people's personal life because I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to be in it. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
other people are not supposed to be in yours. This is how I was raised. What happens behind these doors stays behind these doors. Don't you dare put my business out on Front Street.
Unless
Don't.
Yeah.
it's detrimental to your health.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless it's detrimental to your health, but then there are times and places for that. My friend's party is not the place for us to finish this argument.
No.
Yeah. And it's
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
yeah, I agree, 1,000%. And it's funny because there's also this comedian who's been on my show, and he was talking about how much he hates social media because it's become so toxic. Like once
It
upon
is.
a time, you went on there, you shared some stories, you had some laughter. Now everybody wants to like put on this front like everything's good, and it kind of ruins some people because there are people who have mental health issues and people who are just so insecure in their life that they see this and they start comparing themselves to anything else, not knowing the struggle that someone else has gone through.
You know.
And Amanda's seen this, and I do this now, and Maria's seen it on social media. Like now, since I do this thing where it's like I will talk about the struggle. Like I'll talk about going back to therapy. I'll talk about not getting a job. I'll talk about all this stuff, and then finish it with something like,
Y'all hear that? That's wine.
I was thinking that, but I was like, whatever, that's the
Can I
ambiance.
try that one? I don't think I've
Yes,
ever tried
try
that.
some, girls.
And then I will talk about how like this is like, but I'm working on myself and things like that. And I think a lot of people don't do that. Like they need to show everyone that you're doing good, but it's. I think it would have more effect on people if they saw how like.
What it took.
Yes, exactly.
That's what people don't remember. It takes a lot to get to that happy place. And people also don't understand that happiness is an inside job.
Amen.
So, social media could definitely fuck with you because, one, you don't know how that person got to that level of happiness, and you don't know what struggles they had to get to that level of happiness. But did you, again, these challenges, did you work within yourself to get there? And people always like, oh, you're so positive. Bitch, I'm using these messages to help me.
Yeah.
This is a reminder to myself. So
yeah,
that
and it's funny because it is.
I deal with a lot of things like everybody else does, and no, I'm not gonna let the world onto it. I had a friend tell me the other day, she was like, "You're so emotional. You're always in your feelings. Always posting shit." Bitch, I'm always in my feelings. You right. So I put these messages up to remind myself to get back to the positive feelings. Somebody else might see this message. A few people have hit me up and been like, "Yo, I really needed what you just posted. I needed that as a reminder in my DM, just to thank me and be like, I've been suffering with some craziness going on in my life, and your post reminded me of what I need to go back to." Like, that's the purpose we should be using social media for. And I can even vouch for myself. I definitely would see somebody getting engaged or having a vacation. I'm like, fuck. Where's my engagement ring at? I want a vacation, and I have to log off because then I'm like, damn, I don't know what these people had to go through in their relationship before I compare myself to them.
My editor is 24 years old. He's younger than me, and it annoys me that he's in a different place. But I don't know what he went through in his
To get there.
in his 24 years. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how much he struggled in college. I don't know what it took for him to get to where he's at now.
You don't know what generational wealth he came across.
Yeah, he might not shit. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
and then it was funny. No, not funny. I shouldn't say that. But then it was sad. Like he lost his dad within like the last few months. Like, you know what I mean? So the time it took for him to be where he's at now, that's less time he could have spent with his dad. So you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that go on to that. Like I tell people all the time, I'm a hater, but I'm not envious. I'm not envious of someone else. I can look at someone and go, fuck, I wish I was there. But I'm not going to look at you and then sabotage what you're doing or badmouth someone for doing better than me. My best friend has a website. He's busted his ass to make this website. Like, you know what I mean? Like lost time in his personal life to put this together. What kind of person would I look like getting mad at him for taking the time to do something to better his life?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? For a lot of people, all they will see is he started a website. Well, who the fuck is he to do that? He's got it. You know what I mean? It's like, dog, let them cook.
But see what you said about now what you're posting, like the struggle. I feel like that's appreciated because there are some
Because
people
you're being transparent.
You are being transparent, but there's some people that don't know. Like they literally don't know. Like they don't even know how to start. They don't know where to get to. They don't, like, for instance, I have a friend that, you know, had a really, really bad childhood, and she is an amazing person. When I tell you she is an amazing person, she's so giving, she's such a good mother, like she's just a really, really amazing person to me, in my opinion. But she fucking beats herself up, and I'm like, stop it. Like,
We all beat ourselves up in some way.
But no, like, she really, really, like, and I don't want to get too personal, but I had to really, like, tell her, like, I extended the mental health challenge to her because I'm like, you need to look in the mirror and appreciate yourself, appreciate your struggle, appreciate everything that you've been through. Understand that you are not your past. Like, you are not that. And I say that to say some people don't know how. Like after we had our conversation, she's like, you know what, you're right. Maybe I'm gonna look at it differently, because she kept saying start anew, and I'm like, maybe you don't need to start anew. Maybe you need to just
Pick up the pieces.
exactly. Maybe you need to start from here and say, I'm done with this. This is not me anymore. I'm gonna look in the mirror and love what I am today, who I am today. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And some people don't realize that. Some people don't know, like, for instance, people could sit in their sorrows and say, you know, this is just it for me. I'm done. There's no way for me to get out of it. And you being transparent, or maybe even me taking the time to talk to someone, or Amanda sharing her post to say, like, you know, this is not the end. Like, you can keep going. This is how you do it. Wake up in the morning and think about 5 things you're grateful for. Do it again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Look in the mirror and say, this is something that I like about myself today. Do it again tomorrow. So I feel like social media is missing that. They're missing that. And because they're missing that, it does breed jealousy and envy. And it's not healthy.
And you know
sorry. So because of the 5-in-1 challenge that we're doing now, right, it made me reflect a lot on a lot of things. And I had this conversation with Mark the other day when we were laying in bed.
It's funny how
because he's Mark. And
tell the conversation in general. Okay.
So I was like, you know, I really have been thinking, like, how far we have come just like in the last year or two, right? Like, I went back to school. Mark's been doing really great with his writing. We both have been trying to do what we want to do in life to make ourselves happy, profitable, successful, and get where we want to be. I was like, I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of everything that we've done that's kind of gotten us to where we are now. Like, 2 years ago, I didn't even think I could go back to school. I thought I was too old. I thought I wouldn't know anything. I thought I'd be lost. And I'm like a straight A student right now. Like, I'm succeeding. And I was like, it feels good that I'm like succeeding and that like I can do this. Like, and I was like smiling about it. And this asshole.
And so all I could hear was, wow, she's doing so great, and I'm sitting here like a lump of shit.
But I literally was like, no, like 2 years ago, he wasn't even where he is now writing. He has editors reaching out to him outside of what he even writes about.
I just had to cuss his
trying
ass
to
about
like,
that
yeah,
this week.
Like, I'm like, Mark, people are pursuing you. You're not going to them. They're coming to you and asking you to do things for them.
Here's the funny thing about
They're calling you an expert. You are an expert in your field.
So 2 days later, I did. So this is on a Wednesday. Huh?
No, go ahead.
So 2 days later, because this is on a Wednesday we had this conversation. So 2 days later, I'm recording the episode with Dee and Toya. And I think I brought it up, and I was just like, and I didn't realize what Maria was saying until I actually started talking about it out loud.
Drumming.
Like, you know what I mean? And we were talking about relationships and growth and like things like that, and I was like, oh, that's what she was saying. Like, you know what I mean? I'm so insecure that I still think I'm a lump of shit, not really doing what she's doing, because it's like, and it's funny. It's one of those things.
Your journey's not hers.
It's not completely different. But, thank you.
But you know what it is? It's also a lot of like
self-doubt.
There's that. There's a lot of that. But like the idea of, I'm not where I want to be. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And my first therapist, who I wish I was still seeing, he always reminded me that there are artists, writers, directors, actors who don't even make it big until they're in their 40s
or 50s.
Yeah.
Like,
you know
what's his name? Morgan Freeman. Look at him. When did he hit fame?
He was born 70.
Yo,
He wasn't born old. Mom said that one forever.
Yo.
That dude was Benjamin Buttons, but then this stopped.
Yeah.
Because black don't crack.
I just learned about Benjamin Buttons like 2 months ago.
What?
From Shanice.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I'm aging backwards. And she was like, oh, okay, Benjamin Button. I was like, the fuck? Who's that? She was like, you never had a Benjamin Button? I was like, no. So I Googled him, and it was on Amazon for free, so I watched it.
Oh, maybe I'll watch it now.
It's a good movie. I liked it. I tweeted about it. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But no, it's just funny. Like it's different from the outside looking in. Like my wife could see one thing.
I can see your growth. He can't see his growth.
It's always that way.
There goes that lesson again.
Right. Listen to your wife.
Listen to your wife.
Like, I can see how much he's grown, how much he's
Get married, folks. Listen to your wife. I'm gonna get me a wife. Fuck it. I don't want a husband
More
no more.
productive.
I don't want a husband no more.
They're so supportive. You know what I'm saying? And he just
But you gotta be like a sister wife.
You know
gotta
what?
have a
I'm gonna
husband
go back
in
to I'm gonna go back to my original plan and just marry myself. Like I had my whole wedding planned out. Of one side of my dress was gonna be a dress, the other side was gonna be a tux, and that was gonna be my wedding to myself. I was gonna be my own
Why am I
wife, and my
picturing
own
this right
husband.
now?
I'm envisioning it again because
Okay,
clearly it's not in the books
she
for
put all her
me.
dreads to one side,
My locks,
all your locks to one side, so the
and
other
then put
side-
the other side
Do you
shaved
know when? Do you know?
not shaved. Just,
for the dude.
Listen. Do you know when love happens? When you're not looking.
That's when everything happens. They
I'm
say
serious.
When you're trying to get pregnant.
That
if you
didn't
don't
happen
think
when I wasn't
about
looking. I was
it-
looking at it the whole time. It was going in and out. I need to piggyback real quick to something Nedra said. So y'all know what I've been dealing with for the past week or so, and my cousin Carmen, I love you to death. It was so funny. She was texting me, she was checking on me, and she was like, "Tell me something, one good thing about yourself." And I was like, "Yo, I just fucking did this today with like 6 people." I was like, you really brought me back to remembering the point of my challenge on remembering something good about myself and not letting the situation take me down. And it was just like the universe was just like, "Bitch, stop your shit.
Get your shit together.
Pick up the pieces." And for her to send me that text after I had already did my 5-in-1 with y'all, and she was just like, "Pick yourself up, bitch." She was like, "You got this." She started throwing me reminders. She was like, "You did all this shit by yourself." She's like, "This person wasn't there before. They're not there now. You got this. You're good. Tell me something good about yourself." And I was like, "This bitch." But it was like a good this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, she just really brought me back full circle to what I'm trying to do for other people. She brought it back to me on why I'm doing what I'm doing for other people. You know what I mean?
And to piggyback off of that, I feel like it's important to have a support group. So I grew up
Listen.
really, really like secretive. I'm
My
going to use the
first
word secretive.
therapy session with my therapist, she said, "I need you to do this homework assignment and write down who's your support system. When you have this type of situation, who do you call? When you have this type of situation, who can you reach out to?" Like, and she just gave me different scenarios in life. And it was crazy because when I looked at the pattern of the people that I called, it was just repetitive.
Yeah.
The certain people that I know I could reach out to for whatever situation that would
Right.
give me something positive to be like, we're going to pick up these pieces.
Right.
But go ahead,
So
sorry.
what I was saying is I grew up really, really secret. So I've never been comfortable
With
like
talking.
sharing anything.
Yeah.
I internalized everything, and I just, I'm strong. I can get through it. I'm gonna get through it. I can do this. I don't need and I gave myself the couple of days that I needed to give myself, and then I picked up my pieces and I got to head on going, and nobody around me would know anything.
Right.
But
They would just see the smiles and the happiness, the
exactly
joy.
the
Meanwhile,
bubbly
you're
Nedra,
dying
she's
inside
always
and
in
you're
a
crying
good
inside.
mood. Exactly.
Listen,
Not knowing inside.
I tell
is
people all the
rotting.
time, I'm not strong.
But as I get older, I realize how important it is to have just a support system, just someone that you can call to be like, "Yo, I'm not having a good day. Like,
I am not
today
okay right now.
is bad. Like, I'm not okay right now." It's so important to be able to have those people, and even if it's that one person that you feel okay sharing, that one thing that you really would prefer nobody knew. No, I don't want anyone to know this because I'm going to figure it out on my own. I'm going to get through it by myself. It's important to have at least that one person that you can just fucking say the shit. Sometimes you need to say it out loud and self is not listening. So you got to call someone else. It's really,
Sometimes you
really
gotta hear
important.
another
And it
voice.
feels I'm not going to say you don't understand, but I never understood how good it felt to have people to care about you. And I remember the other day, I don't post a lot on Facebook. And the other day I posted something, it's hard, but keep going. Or something
That was on
like that.
Facebook.
Yeah, it was something along that.
And that hit me hard,
I got
too.
it was an encouraging post. I just, you know what? People might need to hear this because the November challenge, one of the challenges was send 7 people an encouraging text message.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I had sent it already out.
Maybe we should. I should just start. I'm
You
gonna
want to
start
go
doing
back to
it.
that one? Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Just in general, to like send 7 people, 7 encouraging things. Like,
I ended up sending it to more than 7 people, and when I was I sent the same one to everyone. When I was texting it, I'm like, this sounds so corny, but I'm doing the challenge, so I'm gonna do it. But my response was so fucking positive.
Listen.
Like the response that people got that I got from people,
so uplifting.
it felt so good. So when that post that I posted on Facebook, it was just like, you know what, somebody might need to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, but keep on going. So many people reached out to me like, hey, you okay? Is everything all right? And I'm like, people care about me.
and
Like,
that feels fucking
it
amazing to
feels
him. Like,
so good. Like, I respond like, yo, I'm good. I'm just encouraging other people. But to know that people, I'm going to say people because it was multiple people, seen that message from me and was like, hold up. What's going on with her? And text me, not DM me, not nothing. They text my phone to say, yo, are you okay? That felt so good. And I feel like stuff like that is another reminder to be like, yo, I'm okay. Like, I'm a good person. I'm okay. And I have that support. If
that's something else that I think a lot of people don't do. Like you just said, people don't really remind themselves that they are a good person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people who, like, I don't know, most people, the people who are the most insecure need the reminder that they are a good person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are some people who are shitty people, so let's not even, but there are people who I've noticed who are just, like, really insecure, and they need to remind themselves of, like, I am a good person. Like, and I don't think enough people do that. And, like, your message, I'm pretty sure, helped more people.
The wine is talking to me, y'all.
So, Jesus Christ. So,
I don't play with my new lips.
oh, man. So, it's like, I'm pretty sure that message touched more people than who even actually liked or commented or even reached out to you. Because some people, sometimes you see that and you get caught in a moment and you're like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Because that, like, sometimes that shit helps. Like, just because you don't get the like on it. And there's nothing.
What Lauryn Hill say? Killing me softly with his song.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that what Lauryn Hill said?
I think so, yeah.
If you ever read something and be like, was they with me? Like, were you there? Like, how did you know that that's what I needed to hear?
Yeah. Like,
I sent, I recently started following this girl on Instagram.
oh, she is amazing.
I fucking love her. I'm gonna tell you her name right now. Randy Rosario. And I sent one of her posts to a friend, and she was like, I love you for checking on your strong friend. Just the fact that I sent her the post and she watched it, and she, you know, I don't know what she was dealing with at that moment, but the post spoke to her. And you know, and sometimes people just need an uplifting message because you never know what somebody's going through.
But the words that you just said, thank you for checking on your strong friend.
Yep.
Nobody ever checks on the strong
It's funny, like, I always... the 2 strongest people I know are my wife and my best friend. And my grandma. Those are 3 people I know that are the strongest people I know. And I live with my wife. I check on her, like, every day. Hey, how was your day? Are you okay? Is everything good? But, like, my best friend, like, he's in himself, you know what I mean? And I always make sure I ask him. I try to ask him every day, but sometimes I forget. But when I remember, I go, yo, you good? You need anything from me? Because he always asks me. Like, one day I just didn't speak to anybody for, like, 24 hours.
I did that once, and my brother sent the neighbors to my house.
Stop it.
Fredo.
Shout out to Fredo.
And
He's like, are you dead? Why aren't you answering me, bitch?
my ex at the time, he started reaching out to my friends on Snapchat. Like, I haven't talked to her all day. Is she alive? When he spoke to me, he was like, don't do that again, because the last thing they're going to say is, the African did it.
And then I'll have to go fuck him up. And,
Is that an edit point? No.
Fuck that nigga.
The wine is talking to Nedra.
But like he hit me. It wasn't 24 hours, but like normally, like we hit each other during the day. It was like 7 o'clock at night, and the phone rings. He calls me. I go, hello? He goes, yo, you alright? I go, not really. Why? What's up? He goes, dog, because I had a suicide attempt, and so not hearing from me all day, he was like, if you don't want to talk, he goes,
say that.
Say, hey.
And I've told you that before too.
Yeah, man, I said that to me too. So it was like, make sure you at least tell me, so I know what the fuck is going on.
Well, yeah, because that's the conversation. Like, even I do that with you. Like, I know you're mad right now and you don't want to talk about it. Fine, you don't have to. You just need to tell me, I'm not having a good day. I don't want to discuss it.
Do you know how much communication works?
You. And I'm like, okay, that's good. You want to sit and do your own thing? That's fine. But when you don't talk to me, you come home angry, you're snapping at me, you're upset, I'm going to think I did something wrong. So if you don't tell me that you're just having a bad day and you're inside yourself, you don't need to tell me why.
So the moral of the story
I don't
is
need to
your
know.
wife.
Oh, there's
No,
jealous
but-
man.
I mean,
no,
but it took us
communicate.
a
This is about
long, yeah,
communication.
it took us a long time to get that too. Like, people don't realize a lot of the times, even with significant others, relationships, your partner might not be mad at you. They might be mad at the fucking world. You're just the closest thing, and they love you, and they're taking out their frustration.
Let me tell you something. I saw a meme the other day that said a man will always take out his frustrations on the woman he loves. And I was like, damn.
No, but
Can we
literally,
change with the people? What the fuck?
no, but
No, because,
it is a not to be offensive. It's a male quality. Women love to
It
talk.
is.
We are talking.
We are.
If I have a bad fucking day, I'm like, I had a shit day.
We wanna talk to you. We wanna confide
I can't.
No,
I'm
and
gonna
you know
raise
what
my
else is
hand
crazy?
And I'm gonna counter the woman in the room and say that's not true.
It's not.
I'm
There's
going
always
to
exception
sit
to
here
this
and
rule.
be honest.
That's all my point is.
There's always exception to the rule, but the majority of the time is, and you know, another guy told me this. A human man told me this,
Human man.
and he was like,
Man.
a lot of times when us
Not a
men are
doubt.
going through things, we don't know how to communicate that, and we lash out at the first person that's right there, and it's usually the person we're in a relationship with.
I feel like that's humans.
No,
In
it's
general,
not.
I mean,
That's not everyone because.
Not everyone, but I don't think it's gender specific.
it doesn't necessarily have to be gender specific. I do
Again,
feel like though, like
the majority.
I'm not even gonna.
Like, I can take an example. There are things that I internalize. There are still things that my husband doesn't know. But I, like, what's up? There are. That day that I called you in the car, don't make that face. Don't side-eye me. There was something that happened so terrible that I cannot have the conversation with my husband. I called him. I just needed to vent to him. I talked to him. It wasn't about the situation. I told him that I did not want to speak about it. I was just upset and I needed to hear his voice. That was it. He still to this day has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know if I will ever be in a place where I can actually discuss it out loud. And not because he's not important to me or not whatever. It's just something that...
I think she's worried I'm going to find this person and whoop their ass.
No, because it wasn't me. It wasn't something that had to do with me. It's just the whole situation was real fucked up.
Okay, can I say something? This is going to sound really horrible and I don't care. Now hearing that it had nothing to do with her, I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
But
It's
the whole point is, I told him I was having a bad day. I told him that I had something serious going on. I told him that I would not be able to talk about it. And he was okay with that.
Yes,
Like, and he
but
just
some
let
things
me,
just-
but I needed him to know so that when he came home and I was crying in the corner or fucking angry
That
and
he didn't do
hostile,
it.
that it wasn't him, that it was all something I was dealing with internally, and that he was out of the picture. It took him years to figure that out. I don't need to know what you're angry about. I just need to know that you're angry and it's not at me. You don't want to talk about it in the moment?
We don't have
That's
to.
fine, because I spent a lot of times like being like, what did I do wrong? How do I fix this? What did I say? What did I do? And I'm not a feeble woman. So like for me to even feel that way, it was off for me. So one day I was like, listen, I don't care if you're fucking angry. You can be angry, slam shit, break shit, be mad. I said, but you can't come home. You can't not speak to me. You can't not be snappy. You can't not be an asshole. And then be like, I don't want to talk about it. If it's not about me, just tell me. I'm having a bad day. I don't want to talk about it. I need to be in my own personal space. All right, we're good. I'm going to go watch my TV show in the corner. I'm going to go read my book. You go do what you want to do. Because I believe in personal
video
space.
games and I kill people on God of War for an hour. And I come
But
back.
when we first started dating, he didn't understand that concept because he had never been with a woman that understands personal space, and they were all up his ass. And why don't you want to talk about it? You're mad. You're blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm not that way. Like, you need personal space. You need personal space. Go do your thing. I need personal space.
I feel like that's people.
Except for this one time she
Because
said she wanted to be inside me.
I don't
Shut
know
up.
if that falls under the same context.
No, it doesn't.
I'm
He's just
gonna
being an asshole. Just
keep
walk
going.
past it.
But yeah, I have to say that's not gender specific either. I feel like that's people, and this is coming from someone that internalizes a lot, and I shut down and I don't talk at all.
I just
You know what I'm
recently
saying?
learned
I
about
like,
giving people space about 2 years
You
ago.
have to.
yeah, I
You have to.
Because I'm the type of person, I don't want space when I'm going through something. I want you right there next to me.
No.
Even if we're quiet, I want you just there.
And
No,
you wanna
I
know
like people to
something?
be next to me, but I don't want to be harassed about what I'm
No, I don't want to be
dealing
harassed
with.
either. But I'm
Unless
just
I want to
saying,
talk about it. I'll talk to you if I can.
when I say like give people space, I've just recently learned how sometimes people just need to be alone to process what they're
Yes.
dealing with. I like to be around people when I'm processing.
So you feel like everybody.
You know, it's funny. I just
Right,
realized
and I had to realize that everybody doesn't handle
Okay.
those type of situations like that.
like
No.
you'll hit me up.
But
and
again,
like,
I
you
just
need
need
space.
to know I didn't do it.
Like, yeah, you'll hit me up, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling all the hot right. Like, you need space? But yeah, I need space.
Right. But I wasn't fucking you. So, how much space you would need, I would give it to you because I'd be like, he'd hit me up when he's ready. But if we's bumping uglies and we're rubbing genitals, you got a 48-hour max.
You know
Get the
the
fuck over
idea of
this.
saying
48 is a
bumping uglies
long
takes away from the
time.
point.
That is a long time.
You
You
can't
got
say bumping
48
uglies.
hours to not talk to me if you don't need to, but you better tell me good morning and good night. But we don't gotta talk about this. We never have to if you don't ever want to. But after them 48 hours is up, I need to see you.
So we can ignore the fact that you said bumping uglies and then say rubbing genitals.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, it's like why say genitals and then say bumping uglies?
Hey,
Or
whatever
vice versa.
works. I'm sorry. The wine is talking. Veronica's pushing Amanda out this conversation.
Hey, girl. What's going on, Veronica? It's been a long time.
Veronica been chilling.
And this has been the Old Man Wade Show.
Don't edit that.
I absolutely am not editing any of that. I want to thank Nedra for her first appearance. Hopefully she'll come back. The CEO of Pandacare. Promotions for your stuff, please.
Yeah. So, I am to pick up and drop offs to babysitting at your home. If you need me, I can be reached at 857-342-5070. Email address is pandacares4u@gmail.com.
Spell that,
That
people
is-
who don't go.
Listen, PANDACARES, the number 4, the letter U @gmail.com.
You can find the Old Man Wade Show. Well, you're listening to it, so there's that. SoundCloud, Spotify. If you go to YouTube and you put hashtag #DamnItWade, the shows will come up. You can type in the Old Man Wade. You can type in Old Man Wade Show on the Facebook search engine. We just talk shenanigans there. We don't really get too heavy. Every so often we do. Like, fuck the government system for giving that woman 51 years. We can speak on it. Cause that's some bullshit.
We can talk later. Second podcast. Third podcast, because that's 2.
So we get in on that. You can find the Old Man Wade Show, Mark A.W. Lynch on Twitter, Mark A.W. Lynch on Instagram. Also, oldmanwade.com is a thing. It's your home for all the Old Man Wade podcast shenanigans. More will be coming at the beginning of the year. Shout out to Super Bowl Hobby, the host of the Old Man Wade Show, who's been really putting this together and putting the website together, and has been busting his ass to get the website up and running. And seeing as I'm not really technologically sound and versed, he's been putting in 99.9% of the work. So shout out to him for putting all that together. We'll have some stuff coming beginning of the year. Maria, do you have anything to promote?
No?
Maria's promoting Side Eyes.
If anybody wants to write my microbiology paper, it needs to be in by Tuesday. I'll send you the questions.
And
pay you.
And edit point. And 1 hour.
You're not editing that. She needs her work paper.
I ain't got nothing.
Edit point. 1 hour.
You're so stupid. I can't stand you.
36 minutes. All right. You know how people are. They're like, someone else wrote that paper for you, and blah, 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 blah.
Yes,
And then I'll
sir.
have to see them and tell them to eat all the unwanted dicks. I think that's all I got.
That's like 2
Nedra,
shows.
Nedra, you got anything to promote?
Mama made it.
Yeah! Pick up the pieces.
Pick up the pieces
And do what?
and get your shit together.
Oh, I'm sorry. The correct answer is pick the pieces up and listen to your wife.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
listen
shit.
to your wife. I'm sorry.
That's
And
I gotta get me one. So
you know,
no.
when you're throwing lemons, you make lemonade to make sure nobody around you is thirsty. Pick up the pieces, get your shit together,
and
listen to your wife.
And
Oh!
listen to your
Before I go, I have an announcement to make. This makes me very happy to do this.
You're expecting a baby! Yeah!
No. No.
I'm a fighter.
Old man Wade is getting a vasectomy. Oh, fuck. Old man Wade's getting a vasectomy.
A vasectomy?
Hell yeah.
I have to get off. That's a personal. Yeah, that's not an old man Wade subject.
And Nedra, can you say damn it, Wade?
Damn it, Wade.
Damn it, Wade.